Hey, what's up, guys? I am Monty Mont,
I'm Edward.
and first couple episodes of Atlanta, season 3. We seen it, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? It has been a long time since our old pals, Paperboy and crew, have been in our lives, but they back. Oh, and showing y'all behind the scenes. They back. Atlanta's back, man, off of a long hiatus, and we're going to talk about that. Donald Glover and the crew. The last time we saw them was May of 2018.
Man, so much has changed. Like, so much has changed in 4 years, man.
4 years. Do you remember, sir, any show ever doing anything like this? A 4 year period? Oh, hold on, you muted yourself.
I said not on purpose. I don't think
right.
Man, I don't know. Like I know like Reno 911, there was like a 15-year break or something, but like I ain't never seen nothing. Like I have never seen a show take this long of a break, and when they come back, they hit the ground running.
Hit it. Okay. I'm gonna check real quick because the only other show, I don't really watch this show, but I know Curb Your Enthusiasm would take some breaks.
They be taking some big breaks. Yeah,
they do. They do. Looks like 2 years. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, put like this: they've got 11 seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but the show started in 2000, so they've been going kind of off on. That's all in what I see, but yeah. So Atlanta is the smash FX hit. Started in 2016. Donald Glover, of course, Brian Tyree Henry, Lakeith Stanfield, Zazie Beetz. And aside from Donald Glover, we hadn't really heard, I had not heard of the other three very much, but now everybody knows all of them, really. Kind of just all have established themselves in their own right. If you don't know, it's the story of Paperboy is a rapper, Earn is his manager, Darius is just the crazy friend, Van is the baby mama, and it's not necessarily about Paperboy. It is, but it ain't, it's more deeper than that. Let me know, man, what would you describe this show like to somebody?
It is a critique on the Black experience in America.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's in like all. I honestly don't know. I've never seen a show like this on television, so I'm gonna go with that description.
No, that's exactly. I've never really seen something like this before, and there are. I mean, from the, like you say, even from jump, it just had a different kind of feel, and you're like, wow, they really just letting these guys kind of do what they want to do creatively. Because I promise you, 20 years ago, with the way network TV used to be and all that, you wouldn't have seen this show, and if you had, it would have been a very different type of show.
It would have been canceled after 2-3 episodes.
Yeah, if they were going to let them do all that. I mean, even in season 2, they really, that's when we got Teddy Perkins. We had one of the great episodes, the Alligator Man with Cat Williams was in. Yeah. Outstanding episode. And they're just doing things that you haven't seen. And so we start season 3. Now, mind you, it's been 4 years since we've seen the crew. Season 3, which, who does this? We don't see anybody relative to the show that we've known until the last about 1 minute where we see Earn waking up. The whole show is about a whole kind of subtext, which is actually, I want to talk about that very quickly, because it alludes, the first show of season 3 alludes to the Hart family murders, and also there's an underwater town, allegedly of Georgia, called Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
And they spend the whole episode talking about this. The carte blanche to do something like this. Like, I don't know what to say.
See, I'm kind of upset that I read like a variety review about the first episode, because
Oh,
I would have been shocked and kind of upset when I initially turned it on, and it's none of the characters that we've gotten used to. But like you always say, once you get the keys to the kingdom, you can do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah.
So like, yeah, that was very courageous of them to start the season off like that.
Yeah, and it starts out. There's two guys on the boat, they're fishing, and they start kind of talking about what's the history of the lake. And I didn't even know. I had never heard that till I researched it. But
Well,
apparently,
see, I learned about that a couple of months ago. I think it was, I forget her name, but it's an African American woman. She has a nightly show on Peacock,
oh yeah, I
and
know who you're talking about.
yeah, I forget her name,
She
but
covered it.
she covered it, and there's dozens. I'm talking like in the maybe 20s and 30s of African American black cities that back in the day, the government was like, all right, we can't get these black folks to move. Let's break these levees and these dams and flood all these black cities. There's that I saw a map, and there's like in the South, there's like 15 cities alone that were
Wow,
underwater, and there's just tons of black cities underwater that we don't even know about.
wow. I see. I did not know that till I
Yeah,
kind
when we get done,
of
I'll send you the video.
yeah,
It was like 2 months ago. It was like a 10-minute long video.
yeah. Till I kind of just looked up what that episode's about. I didn't know that. That is man, oh man. Okay, so and then they talk about the Hart family murders, which was a terrible story of some foster kids who were adopted by two women and ended in tragedy, basically with the kind of a murder suicide situation. And coincidentally, one of the boys was featured, which is they recreated amazingly. There was a very poignant picture of one of the boys being comforted by a cop and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Um, and so again, just Donald Glover. Let's quickly talk about the keys, because Donald Glover in 2017 he won the Emmy for lead actor in a comedy series. But what I told Earl and some others at the time, to me the most important one was he won the Emmy for best directing in a comedy series, which means you start to get the keys. And when I say the keys, especially for Black Hollywood and such, we talk about this moment. We talk about, of course, Jordan Peele winning the Oscar. Denzel Washington, a lot of folks that have paved the way, but that now means we trust you to do whatever you want to do. Here's some money and step aside. Like I remember hearing the first season of The Office, and the creator was like, I got notes from NBC, notes and do this and do that. And once they just saw how successful it was, they just stopped sending us notes. And that's what every show we're gonna run. So let me know what you think about Donald Glover and his kind of ascension, because he started out as a writer and all this stuff. Now he's, musical. What do you think about him?
Side note, the Amber Ruffin show.
Yes, that's her name. Yeah.
I want to give her due.
Very much.
The Donald Glover I knew, he was on what was that show? Community.
Yeah, Community.
He was on Community. He had like an indie rapper, and then I guess that was when FX is kind of hands off with a lot of stuff. They're like, hey, I think they're auteur driven.
Yes.
And I don't think they expected this. And I was The Watch has I think their second to last episode is with Hiro Murai, who directs most of the Atlanta episodes. And he said that when they got picked up, Donald Glover, and it's his brother Stephen Glover, they don't have a writer's room, they have a house. And I guess FX was like, he was like, we want a house and we gonna crank out these scripts. And it's not like they have 10 scripts and then they hand them off. This dude Kari's yelling. 10 scripts and they hand them off. It's like, hey, we'll give you these scripts when we're ready on a need to know basis from this house. So props to FX for that. And then like you said, with him winning that Emmy. This guy, sorry.
Well, he liked the show too, so yeah, that's of course.
With him winning the Emmy, it's just like, hey, we can entrust you with this multi-million-dollar enterprise. Go do your thing.
No, it's amazing too because FX, I do have to give them props because now the way the content wars are, everybody can get a now I shouldn't say it like that, but show creators are getting a lot more freedom. So it's like, oh, you know what? You got a decent show, here's go. Because we got Disney Plus, we got Netflix, we got Hulu, you know what I'm saying? There's so many that just want the content now and are letting, like, that's what I always say, whether you loved it or not, the fact that WandaVision can take 2 episodes and go straight to the 50s and 60s, you would not have seen that 15 years ago because the people that are supplying is like, what are y'all doing? What? No, but now because they want so much content, go ahead. Okay, you got an idea?
Hey, do your thing. We'll come back in a while.
And
but that's just like what was I about to say? He had an overall deal with FX, and he and his brother was supposed to come up with a Deadpool animated series. But I guess they were writing scripts and they gave them to FX, and FX was like, hey, this is kind of too crazy. And they canceled it. But then that's when he got that, after that, he signed that big deal with Amazon, and he was supposed to have that Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Right. Yeah. I seen
old girl from Fleabag. So yeah, I think they trust him with, Atlanta, and they was like, well, here's your bundle of money. Come back with something.
Right. Yeah. It's really amazing. I have to give FX props because it's a little more commonplace now, but back then, especially for this kind of show that it's kind of a dark, how they always say Seinfeld, it's kind of a dark thing because you don't really know what the show is about a lot of times. They'll just take it right.
Surprise.
Yeah, and so even now with this season, episode 2 and 3, we catch the gang, they're overseas from where we left them off in season 2. And they just be getting into things, you know what I'm saying?
But getting into things, but it's its own world. It's like it's the real world, but it's surreal. Like I've never seen a show where, for all intents and purposes, we know Tupac is dead. but they went to London and they walk into an apartment, a condo, and Tupac is taking his last breaths, and it's 2022.
And you're just like,
oh, okay. Yep. That makes perfect sense.
It flows like, yeah, okay, I see. And the show is just fearless. They'll hit any subject, they'll talk about anything. You can really see they have no fear of anything. And now you can really see what a creator wants to do. So real quick too, I want to just hit, I love everybody on there, but I have to say this show introduced me to Lakeith Stanfield. It did, yes, because Get Out came a year after. And I gotta say, if you haven't seen Lakeith, Darius is his own. Darius is a composition of the show in one character. Just kind of, he's a part of it, but he marches to his own beat.
Yep.
Eclectic, smart, a little weird. Still got some Negro in it. It's all these things.
What's crazy is like that's how, if I were to meet him in real life, I promise you, that's got to be him.
Right, yeah, that's why. That's if you ever seen that show, which Donald Glover wrote on, was 30 Rock, and on 30 Rock there's a character called Kenneth. He's a page. He's a quirky guy, and everybody's like, no, that's really him. Like he was the guy. He was the voice on he was like the little handy guy on Wreck-It Ralph, the little handyman guy, and all that stuff. Like that's just that dude. Yeah. And that's to me Lakeith as well. Like he's just, I can't keep my eyes off him. Like everything he does is just.
Yeah, I feel like Donald Glover, old girl that plays Van,
Zazie,
and Zazie Beetz, and Paperboy.
Brian,
they're all acting.
Yeah.
but Lakeith, I just think like they just like just come on to the set. Here's your clothes, and do your thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's, but again, see, and so when we talk about the keys, we've seen again, Brian is getting a lot of movies. Lakeith is getting movies. Zazzy's in movies, and all these branches from this tree now. And Donald can do whatever he wants. I just heard him on. He was on. I watched him on The Shop with LeBron, and he was talking.
Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah,
yeah, and he was actually talking with another new young show creator, Quinta Brunson, and we're going to talk about Abbott Elementary at some point. But it's just great to see, us really being able to kind of create our projects, create opportunities for others, and then watch those others grow. I mean, Brian Tyree Henry has extensive training. Like I'm going to look it up real quick. Like he ain't just a guy. Like he trained at Yale. He went to Morehouse and then Yale for acting. Like he ain't just, he's a great actor, so you think he's just a guy, but no. He's got real acting.
He's got extensive training, yeah.
Yeah. And he's great. Like that face he makes when he's frustrated, that's so good. But so guys, I would ask Earl to give me his expectations of the season, but I have no idea. I don't know what to expect. Do you have expectations, sir?
Just to be surprised every week.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like one of the only shows that hits on the Black experience. Like, for example, a quick example is like when Lakeith walked into that party and he was trying to reach past that young lady and she was like, "Oh, I'm engaged." It's like, and then she's like, "Oh, Black men always hit on me." Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it's such a stereotype. It's like, that's not everybody. My man was like, "I was just trying to get a cup."
Right.
Like, I want nobody, ain't nobody thinking about you.
It's such a great show for other people to watch, and let them understand where we come from, what we thinking about, how to interact with us in a way. Because what I loved about that scene, Darius didn't like flip out.
No, because like, he's used to it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, "Yo, I'm
and then that white guy was like, "Oh man, I can't believe that happened." It was like, "My guy, I deal with this 10 times a week."
Yeah, he's like, "This
I deal with these microaggressions all day, every day."
Right. He's like, "Welcome to my world, man. This is not anything." And that's such a microcosm of
that. And all those white people were crying, and my man was like, "I just want to get up out this room."
People, y'all gotta watch this, because in context, it's so good. It's so great, and just the storylines, even the Ernst storyline with the young British rapper, which is great. The whole nother thing we get into as well.
Yeah, like you said, it's like that. When my man was like, he was like, "These white people scheming. Why can't I scheme?"
Right.
And they scheme and they get away with it. If one of us does it, we get locked away for 10 years.
And you could see Ern fighting in his mind, like, well, which is what we do. We still be thinking about the shit, But they be just like, yeah, but they be just like, whatever, man. We already. So it was great, man. Shout out to Nando's as well. Get you a Nando's.
Hey, like I kind of want to go back to London to get some Nando's.
Hey.
I read that that's a real thing, man.
I ain't lying. I was like, man, that Nando's.
I ain't seen not one Nando's when we was out there.
I was like, I would like to check that out.
We need to get some Nando's. That, and listen, man, if the Lord blesses me to make some money, I'm building me a decoy house.
Say that.
I'm building me a decoy house.
I just want to like touch something and the wall move past, and then we walk into the real.
I want to look like a crack house on the outside, and $1 million on. I want to look like straight Detroit on the outside.
That
Ariel just yelled, "No, I'm not."
No, listen, that's okay. Real quick, we about to go, but Gary, Indiana, where I used to live. Well, my mother used to live. I used to go get a haircut. These dudes were terrible barbers, terrible. Like never do you right. But I remember people used to come and they would walk to the back of the barbershop. They would move this wood paneling over and go somewhere. And they would be nicely dressed. And when I was so young, I didn't know what that was. I came back to Gary one year and they was like, yeah, man, they shut that spot down. I was like, why? He's like, bro, they was running numbers. They had a whole gambling thing down there. I said, what? He's like, yeah, bro, that was like a speak. They called it speak easy back in the day. I said, that's where them people was going. They said, yeah, it was like the barbershop was the front. I said, I knew these dudes couldn't cut hair. But they used to move this little thing back and they would go somewhere and never come. Man. So
I know I think there's 3 places in Vegas like that.
Yeah.
Born and Raised has one of their locations. They have like it's like almost like a bookshelf, and you push past it, and it's a whole nother area in there.
Really?
And then at the Cosmo, their second floor, there's a food hall, but there's this door, and there's the donkey on the door, and you open and you push past, you knock on the door, and it's a whole nother restaurant behind that joker.
Really?
Yeah, but
I was thinking about secret pizza. I thought that was just
listen. Well, don't matter what she said. I'm getting me a decoy house.
Guys, so we will be back, of course, once this series wraps, and we'll give our full breakdown of everything. But if you're not on it, get on it right now. Atlanta is outstanding. I can't speak highly enough of it. Like I said, I have no idea. I'm like Earl, I'm gonna just be surprised every episode. I mean, it's highly rated. Even, I mean, the critics love it. Andy and Chris, shout out. They love it, of course, to watch. But yeah, appreciate my mans,
Sir.
Hoping to see you in that little back panel. Hopefully you get it one day. We'll see.
Hey, we're gonna be out here, man. Be out here smoking meats in the back.
Yeah, hey, that's right. Hey, it's gonna go down. It's about to go down. We're gonna do a live show. We're gonna do a live show for real. For that as well, definitely. But this is We Seen It. Okay, if you're checking this out, please spread it because this is on the We Seen It channel, exclusive now. All right, Mighty Sharp Network guys, you know what to do. Please, I want you to stay sharp and be blessed. Appreciate it, man.
Deuces.